My dream as a kid was always to become a professional soccer player, and my father said he would do whatever it takes to make sure I get there. My mother, however, said I should pick a realistic career that could pay well enough to make sure I could provide for my family. As I started to get older, I realized that becoming a professional soccer player wouldn't be okay because not many really get there. But then I started to realize that I couldn't go to school for 4 years in undergrad, and then another 4 years for pre-med school, and then 4 years for residency, which I found on CapTest. And on top of all of this, according to Salary.com, a doctor makes between $200,000 to $350,000, which is about a surgeon. Although this may sound like a lot of money, they have to give up a lot just to make that much money. For example, one of my teammates in high school, his father was a dad, and he had the opportunity to have college paid for or a brand new car. And he ended up picking the brand new car, but that was just because the dad didn't show enough love, so he tried to find a way to give love, and that's how he got the car. Now, I'm a soccer player, and I believe that soccer players make way too much money. Soccer players don't have to go to school, they don't have to take tests, they don't have to do anything that doctors do, and yet they make so much more money. Neymar, a professional soccer player for PSG, makes about $145,000 a day, which is equivalent to $53 million a year. This speech is for anyone that thinks soccer players make way too much money. I believe that soccer players should not make more than surgeons because surgeons do more for people, they put in more time, and they work so much more harder. Although there are professional athletes like Neymar that make a large amount of money, surgeons should get paid more because they are way more beneficial to society. Without surgeons, soccer players would not be able to come back if they had a career-ending injury like an ACL tear, because surgeons actually perform surgery and repair that. Surgeons are very important because they can cut you open whether you need brain or heart surgery, and they help with cancer, which I found that 38.5% of people get diagnosed with cancer. Athletes need surgeons to play at times. For example, Saul Niguez is a professional soccer player that had severe kidney problems when he played. And there was one time where he was in the middle of a game and someone came and kicked him right in the kidney and he started to bleed internally. A surgeon had to go in and perform surgery on him, which saved his life. Now he still has kidney problems, and every time he wears his jersey, he feels it still, but he does everything for the game. And if it weren't for that surgeon, he would have most likely died. Although I play soccer, I know that at the end of the day, it's just a game. There's not a single person I know that would not like to make around $350,000 a year. However, there aren't many people that would like to do 10 plus years of school. Becoming a surgeon does not happen overnight. You have to do 4 years of undergrad school, 4 years of pre-med school, and then another 4 years of residency. Some schools are so difficult to get in that only 3 out of 100 actually make it. In order to make it to pre-med school, you need a high GPA and you need to score well enough on your MCAT. And on top of all of this, you have to be a well-rounded individual with high experience. Neymar is only 25 years old and he is already considered a millionaire. Doctors at 25 years old are still completing residency or in pre-med school. Now they have a lot of schooling to do because lives are in their hands. Athletes don't have to go to school or take tests, but they do have to start very young. For example, Christian Pulisic, a professional soccer player for the US national team, had to leave the US when he was very young just to make it in the professional team. A professor told me that it's not important how smart you are. What really matters is how badly you want to outwork your competition. The amount an athlete makes for their talent is way too much in comparison to surgeons who take time to save people's lives. Surgeons must learn before they can practice. As mentioned before, they have to go through several years of school, and then once they make it, they are on call 24/7. Surgeons have to expect the unexpected because no two surgeries are ever the same. If there's ever a time where a surgeon sees a disease that they have never seen before, they have to do research and figure out how to stop it and save someone's life. Professional athletes are not on call 24/7. They simply practice 2 times a day and play a game on the weekend. Athletes don't have to save lives, and there are many times where athletes begin getting paid when they are very young. For example, Martin Odegaard, who was a player for Real Madrid, at the age of 16 was already making $95,000 a week. In conclusions, surgeons work too hard and give up too much to be making less than soccer players. They finally start getting paid when they complete undergrad school, pre-med school, and their residency, while there are soccer players who start getting paid when they are in their teenage years. Soccer players make a ridiculous amount of money for just playing a sport, while surgeons deserve to be getting paid way more money because they save lives by performing surgeries, prescribing medication, and so much more. I thought student athletes had it bad, but there are so many pre-med students that spend all of their time studying and preparing for exams that they have. There are few students that actually ever make it to becoming a surgeon, And with soccer, a lot of the times, all it takes is money for you to make it to the pros. Without surgeons, people would die. Whether you needed a heart transplant, surgery on your brain, or if you had cancer, surgeons are needed because they save you. And soccer players, on the other hand, all they do is play a game, and you can watch it on TV, and the world is fine without the sport. It is surgeons that we need, and that is why I believe that they deserve to get paid more than soccer players.